sure. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Aku. It is the this is the Get Rich 101 show, and there's my dad right there on the right hand side. I'm trying to find the squiggles, Dad, the squiggles for the background. Here we go.
Okay.
Boom.
Oh,
Looks
okay.
like we're doing something. Looks like we're
Hey, I
doing.
like it.
Yeah, looks like we're doing something. All
Yeah.
right, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to the New Thought Media Network for giving me the space and the opportunity to grow. And let me just put this up. I am an author. This is my most recent book, Hack Your Pain Now. Hack Your Pain Now. Check it out. Check it out. Dad has gotten a few copies and sent them to people here and there. So he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job. All right. So all right. Now, I want to talk about what I did just now via the stock market, just really briefly.
Okay.
So this was what I did. I waited till 9:29. Stock market opens at 9:30. So I waited till 9:29. I bought. I don't even know what it's called because the guy who's teaching me says you don't need to know about what it's called. So I just bought. Yeah, man, because that tripped me out because I was always in the mindset of, AT&T equals T, equals whatever it is, T
Uh-huh.
on the market. But I didn't know that in the smaller world of stocks, this lower level, you don't even need to know what it is. You just trade it. So, for example, I've got Tesla and SPY, which are the huge ones, but I just traded what's the name of it? POAI. I don't even know what that is.
Okay.
POAI. But I bought some and then I held it for a little bit of time. I'm talking about a very short period of time because I did this like just now at 9:30, right? So at 9:30 it went down, and then by 9:38 it came back up, and I sold it. As soon as it came across the line, I sold it. I sold it quick, and so I made 53 cents. So yeah. 53 cents.
Positive.
Yeah, it's positive, positive, positive.
So how could you get it in before the market opens?
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Good question. So this is what I discovered. What I discovered is that the market moves when it's off. When the market is off for the weekend, it still moves because the guy who I'm listening to, he says he makes his money over the weekend. I was like, over the weekend? How can you make your money over the weekend? And he says that he buys a stock on Friday at the end of the market as the market's closing, and he sells when it opens on Monday. I'm like, what? But it doesn't make sense to me, right? And so I've been
Ah.
studying them. And what happens is during the weekend, it still moves. You can't trade on it. You can't trade on it, but it actually moves. So
Okay.
it moves in these small degrees. And so what he's saying is you buy the right one on Friday,
Mm-hmm.
hold it, and you sell it first thing Monday, and you've got a good, decent grip of money.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, wow. That's what started me on this on stock trading at all because was a weekend window because I figured that was a small enough piece of the stock market that I could focus on that. Like which one to get on Friday, which one to sell on Monday. And so I was doing that pretty evenly and I was, doing pretty well. But then then Pete King suggested I trade full time. I was like, no, I'm not gonna trade full time. But I've traded full time since she approached me about it, and now I'm seeing big differences in the system that I couldn't see when I just started doing the weekend thing. But the weekend thing is my thing. I got a name for it. I got it. Weekend hustle. The weekend hustle. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I do. I buy it before the before 9:30 because I want to be less clicking. I don't want to be doing a lot of clicking. I just want to
Okay.
watch and click to sell. So that's what I did this morning.
All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks, Pop. Thanks, Pop. Okay, Pops. So you said you want to say good morning to everybody. So here's your shot. Say what you want to say to the people.
Good morning, everyone, and I hope you all are doing well.
Yeah, that's right.
And when you asked me about what I wanted to talk about, I said, nothing special. But I guess I want to say that in part, I am who I am, obviously because of my parents, but also because I've been lucky and prepared. So those combination of things have gotten me where I am through life.
Okay.
And I hope that I've instilled some of that in you.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so too. So speaking of which, this is another memory thing. So my memory, has been a little bit in fluid because of the stroke. I
Sure.
want to ask you this.
Uh-huh.
P. King is asking me through me. She's asking me if we ever had a sit down that we talked about money, like some sit down where we talked about money that had happened in the past. Did that ever happen with us?
Yeah, around cars.
Cars, okay.
Yeah, purchase
Cars,
of
let's hear
cars.
it.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, and it's again a fluid thing because it's a an expense or a desire or a buy based on mobility. Because cars are mobile. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. You can be in an accident. It doesn't matter if it's your fault or somebody else's fault. Damage creates, a negative flow. But we've talked about cars, and you had your first car with a guy really lived right next door to us. We had 6th Center Street. He was not next door, two doors away.
Yes, no.
Uh,
Yeah.
Next door was 8, and I guess he was 9. Hector, remember Hector?
Hector?
Hector had the used car lot in his backyard.
Really?
Yeah, I
Wow.
think your first car was a Volkswagen. I think it was yellow.
Yes. A Volkswagen Rabbit. Wow. That
Yeah,
reminds me of this whole thing I had about that rabbit and about how the police were called on me the first time I sat in my car, and that I wrote that into a play. No, I wrote that into a play. A a documentary. Please remind
yeah.
me, a documentary.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I
Yeah.
turned it into a whole. So people who don't know,
Yep.
so I bought my car. The next door neighbor's VW that Dad's talking about, and I went and I sat in it just to enjoy being in the car after I paid for it. And I was sitting there enjoying the car, just listening to the radio, and the police ran up on me, and there was a very tense situation. Let's just say called that a tense situation. Like it was very tense,
Right.
and I turned that. I didn't even tell Dad for a while. I didn't tell. I think Dad, you found out on my out of my play. I think, is that right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I certainly didn't find out about it uh, as it was happening or soon after it happened.
Yeah, I
I
did
don't
not tell
remember,
anybody.
the days or the occasions after, but we discussed it about the car,
Yeah,
particular car, the yellow Volkswagen.
yeah, yeah. Volkswagen Rabbit, I remember with the big windows. But yeah, I remember that. And I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell anyone until I was writing poems with this group in New York, and I wrote about it. It just came out. It was years later. This was when I was living in New York now. So this is years
Mm,
later, and it came out, and it really shocked me that was laying around, lurking inside me, and that was a really big piece. That was a really big piece, and all the memories of it are coming back now. Coming back
mm,
now. Yeah,
uh-huh.
yeah. Wow, that was a good one. That was a good one. That's a good one.
Well, let me tell you a story about my car. As you
Okay.
know, for a long time, I drove a Dodge Charger, and they only did 2 years. I think it was uh, 97 and 98 uh, uh, fastback.
Mm.
And somebody, I think somebody stole my car. Um,
Oh, what?
yeah, but it was in the neighborhood. It was found on Sherman Ave. It
What?
was about 4 blocks away from our house.
What? They gonna park it 4 blocks away? That's crazy.
Yeah, and no real damage except the ignition, the turn on thing, the switch, and the police that found it were white, and they said this guy must be a drug dealer or something bad. He's got this antique car with
What?
Michelin tires on it. So, as it turns out, one of my friends was a deputy police at the time, and he was talking to him, and he said, "Back off. That's my friend, and he's a businessman. He don't do anything bad, you know."
That's
And
all
he
right.
told me the story, after my car was returned and so forth. But I mean, I wasn't there, I didn't know it, but that was just racism
Yeah,
popping up, over a car.
yeah. That's two racist experiences we both had over our cars. That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. And interesting that your reputation preceded you. Your reputation went out there and took care of it for you. Like if you
Yeah,
hadn't known that police officer, he wouldn't have known about you,
that's right. Yeah.
they would talk about you. So what were you doing then? What was making you
Well, I
so
was I was running Rock's Reaction Program.
okay? So
Yeah.
for the folks that don't know, tell us about rap. Tell us about rap.
Well, it was a community development organization that was focused on a particular portion of Roxbury, Massachusetts. For those who don't know, Boston is created by 21 uh, precincts and awards.
Mm,
And in those wards, the largest of which is Dorchester, and second to that is Roxbury.
mm,
Roxbury is primarily the black community in the city of Boston.
okay.
Not so much now.
Mm,
Things have changed all
right.
over the place, but then it was. And Highland Park was a portion of Roxbury. So,
Mm,
Roxbury is fairly large. But there was this community that was suffering. And because um, a lack of service and attention and help, black people who own houses then in Highland Park were trying to get out, and they were almost giving their houses away because they felt that there was a better way, a better place than Highland Park at the time.
mm,
And rap started on Blue Ave. On Blue Ave, it was called the Strip.
mm,
There were probably 30 plus organizations on Blue Ave. So obviously our service areas were overlapping.
mm,
So what we did at RAP was get organized and move to an area where there was no organization except us. We were and the services of the community in Highland Park were needed and needed help. And this police officer, this deputy, his name was Cragwell, uh, was looking to help us.
mm.
So he would come and meet with us sometime. And later on, Jerry Smart, another police, would meet with us on a monthly basis. So we had help, we had support.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, you've had support in so many different ways, in so many different ways. And rap's still going today, right? Like,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Now rap is run by another son, Malcolm Wynn.
that's right. Whose computer you're using right now, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We're together.
yeah, that's great. That's great. So I remember this. I remember one time. for, I think it was your birthday or something. We were over at 6th Center Street, and I remember I met this tall white guy, and I was chatting with him, and then I asked him what he did. He said he said he was a governor, and I was like, the governor? I was like, wait a minute, why does my dad have the governor at his house? And it just took me out that you had so many connections from your work as doing the Roxbury Action Program.
Well, that's true. I mean, but a lot of it's luck.
A lot of it stuck.
Luck.
A lot of it luck.
But being ready, to cash in. So the Boy Scout motto: be prepared.
Be prepared.
I was a scout. Reached Eagle Scout as a top scout in the United States of America, and it really was. You have to be prepared.
Yeah. Okay. So how are you? How are you doing that in terms of the governor? Like, what are you saying that you have to be prepared?
Yeah, I mean, being prepared because I didn't know the governor, from childhood. I
Right.
met him, so some
Right.
kind of circumstances got us together,
Right.
and I was ready to engage with him and to try to persuade him to give us a hand.
That's right. That's right.
And turns out he was supportive.
That's right.
As that police, my friend, who was a black guy, deputy, he gave us a hand.
That's really interesting. That's really interesting. I wonder if the police officers who accosted me when I sat in my car, I wonder if they would have known who you were if I told them. I wonder if you would know, because you were known in the Roxbury community, and that happened in Roxbury. So we'll never know.
Maybe I would say maybe.
Yeah.
Because in recent time, the Bay State Banner. I mean, that was the black neighborhood
Yes.
weekly newspaper. The assistant editor, son of one of the owners, Miller, was at some event recently, within the last couple of years or so ago, and the police asked him to clear out. He said, "No, I'm under press." He said the police asked him what press. He told them Basic Banner. He never heard of it, and yet and so you don't know. There are a lot of ignorant people and a lot of young people who are inexperienced and don't know and really don't care.
Ashe. Well, that's going to be our stopping point for today. That's really interesting how we've got these two car stories separated by years. And we're having the same experience, similar experiences.
Similar, yeah. I mean, I didn't know. I was not involved in mine, directly. It was after the fact.
Right.
But I was happy to hear it, and to know that having good things impress some people negatively.
Right.
An antique car and expensive tires.
Yeah. Yeah. Your claim to fame.
Yeah.
All right, Pop. Well, thanks again for holding me down on Fridays. I'll see you next Friday. And wish me luck for the doctor.
Amen. Amen.
Today.
You got it.
And we're gonna see what happens with the doctor.
All right.
All right, folks. We'll see you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.